call, please.
Joe Marie Nelson.
Here.
Joe Corello. Joseph Albert.
Here.
Donna Corbin-Spinsky.
Here.
Frank Lama.
He's walking in the door.
Hear him. Jill Kravietz here. Roby Staples.
Here.
Okay. Fire evacuation procedures. In case of fire, there are two ways to exit the chambers. To my left, exit through the council chamber doors, turn left and walk down one flight of stairs and out of the building, or exit the door to the rear of these chambers. In either case, once outside of the building, walk a safe distance away from the building. Can we stand for Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Executive session, we have nothing this evening, Jim?
No.
Okay. Public participation, issues of concern that are not on the agenda. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the agency this evening? Okay. Public hearings, we have none scheduled. Correspondence, Jim?
You'll find in your packets the spring 2013 edition of the Kakiwik newsletter Habitat for your reading enjoyment.
Okay. Site visit updates. Do we have anything to discuss this evening, anybody? Nothing? Okay. Approval of minutes, July 16, 2013, regular meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the July 15th, 2013.
16th?
16th.
Motion made by Joe Albert, seconded by Donna. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstain? One abstention? Okay. Building permit approvals.
You'll find in your packets the building permit approvals that I've approved since the last meeting. July and a little bit in August there. The usual sheds, decks, pools.
Okay. Any questions on this? Wetland agent report. What do you have, Jim?
Since our last meeting, I've issued no agent approvals or issued any violations. So all is quiet.
Okay. Quiet summer. Old business, we have nothing to report. New business. Inland Wetlands 479.02, Carios Properties LLC. Proposed modification of existing driveway at 155 Hazard Ave. Proposed mitigation of disturbed wetlands, map 75, lot 120. Submitted 9/12/13, received 9/17/13. PPE 10/1/13, and MAD is 11/21/13. PPE means petition period ends, and MAD is mandatory action date. Gentlemen?
Joe Marie, let me interrupt you. The agenda is incorrect. That is not new business, but it should be an application to be received.
Received.
And after it's received, if I
Okay.
believe you want to take some action on it, you can. But,
Okay, so we
it
are
would do-
receiving it?
You're receiving it, correct.
So no action?
No, you
Can
can.
be taken-
It's not a new business.
Gotcha.
It's-
Okay. So we're going to put this under item 17. Okay, gentlemen, come on forward. Sorry.
I can hold it.
Okay. Good evening. For the record, Phil Tarsinis, here representing Carios Properties. Basically, what we're proposing, the third floor of this rear office center is currently vacant. There's some activity for leasing the space and having potentially a childhood behavioral health program on the third floor and amongst the general practitioner's office as well. So what we're finding is, here's Hazard Avenue. As you're pulling into the site to access this rear building, you have to come to the end here, take a right, and you're facing this building here with the daycare and the pediatric office and the dance school, and it's just very congested. That being said, we were looking at alternatives. How could we get people to the rear property with a minimal impact on the wetlands as possible? Over here in blue is the wetlands that are on the property. This right here is a 25-foot choke-off point, basically almost separating, isolating this wetland here. I've had 2 soil scientists review it, Soil Sciences Inc. and also Mike Granulati, the late Mike Granulati, and both concurred that it was a man-made wetland. It has grayish type coarse soil, and because of the grayish type coarse soil, we marked it pursuant to Connecticut statutes as may exhibit wetlands characteristics. So that being said, we propose to just continue on straight here in red, have this little access way, if you will, so any patrons and visitors coming to this rear site can basically pass the daycare and this building here, and then they can continue on to the site. There's already a sign here that we can just simply turn, and people will know, we know where they are and what programs are available. We also added some parking that we took out to make this roadway here on this outer fringe. This project has mitigation already in these gray shaded areas. And we're proposing on increasing the mitigation by another 5,700 square feet here. We'll be getting into the more of a wetland body, which I believe comes around the side and then it wraps around the back. And I believe there's a conservation easement from the developer on the condos that are across from the police station. So we have 35,800 square feet of mitigation area. And we have a wetlands total disturbance of 67,
6,700.
which gives us a ratio of 6.25 to 1. In other words, 1 square foot of disturbance, we're giving 6.25 square feet of mitigation area. So on the whole, we're actually increasing the wetland and mitigation area substantially from what was there even originally. So, I mean, that's basically it. It's more of an operational, functional issue. We're not building nothing. We're not adding on. We're not doing anything like that. It's a problem. Knock on wood, nothing's happened so far, but I would hate to have the 3rd floor become occupied, increase the traffic, and God forbid there's, an accident or something of that nature.
Just a quick question before I go to Jim. The wetlands that you're planning on disturbing is 5,500 square feet?
Yes.
And the mitigation is 57, so it's greater than what you're...
Yes, but plus.
I know the general whole scheme of it, you said
Yeah.
it was 6, but I just wanted to make sure we were clear
That's
on
correct.
that.
Sure.
And you're adding nine parking spaces? Is that,
Yeah.
plus just widening the driveway?
It's four additional, because we're taking out 5 to make the roadway, because these are existing spaces here.
Yep,
So we're,
okay. All right, Jim?
Okay, I met with the applicant, and I also visited the site. My observations were this area that will be, this proposed to be disturbed is in the easternmost portion of this wetland area. It is right adjacent to the parking lot. It's not well vegetated, it's kind of barren and, in my opinion, not serving a fully functioning wetland. And so I had proposed that by him mitigating an area to the south here, which is now existing lawn area, taking that lawn area out and making it a planted mitigation area, that would actually be a better functioning wetland in this area, and do more to renovate the stormwater runoff from his property. So those are the ideas we talked about. He's incorporated those into the plan. Like I said, as you point out, the area is larger, so there is an increase. It's not a one-for-one. It is more than what's being disturbed. The only questions I had from reviewing the plan is in the island you're creating there, are you planting that area as well, or what's the proposal for between the 6 spaces and the new driveway there in that kind of like a island area?
This island here,
Yeah, just
we were gonna just propose to make it grass.
just grass in there. Okay, like a landscape berm. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. And then also where you have no curb, that's going to be where the
Yeah.
runoff comes in. At first, I thought, well, maybe we need to protect that somewhat with some riprap, but it's only a 6-inch difference there.
Yeah, no, no,
6-inch drop there.
Yeah, no, thank you for pointing that out. I don't know if you want to do it, Bob?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, the high points on both
for the
ends there.
record, Robert Arsenault, I'm the engineer for the project. What we had done in the past with some of the other parking areas, like over in here, we had left the curb out because the function or the desire for the function was to have the water shed off into this mitigation area, so right here, this existing one, which then runs out with riprap into the wetland area. What we're basically doing is we're doing that same function here. We've left a small section of curbing out here, and the only thing really draining into it is it's about 140-foot long part of the driveway. So that's basically going to do the same thing. The water will collect and run down through here. It's not an area where there's going to be cars parked, so we don't have to worry about oils and that kind of thing. So basically, we're providing the same function as far as the storm drainage collection for this driveway as we did for the rest of this area, for the site in this location and also over here. So we felt it was the best, most efficient way to handle it.
Right, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but right here where the existing parking was, and also here are high spots. So there's no vehicles parked, and if there was any vehicles parked and they had a leak or some type of issue, by having the high spot here and here, it's not going to drain anywhere near the wetlands. It's going to go in the catch basins through the filtration system. So any water that we're collecting from this driveway that's going to be discharged here is going to be clean water. It's not going to be any chance of it being contaminated or anything as far as that goes. So I also myself, I mow the interior of the mitigation areas. I maintain them. My landscape crew goes and maintains around the mitigation area. They mow every time they mow the grass. There's no invasives. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to go out there. No invasives. It's just wetlands, grasses, and it is really 100% operating the way we said it would 5 years ago, and it still is today.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions? We'll start then there. Roby? Donna? No, I'm good.
No question.
Jill?
I'm glad that you said to begin with that you were anticipating that you were going to have some new tenants on the 3rd floor, because I did go out there and there are quite a few parking spaces, especially on this map is not northwest east, so on the farther end,
West side, yeah.
the west end of it. Would the new businesses be able to enter through that section of the building, or do they still have to go around to the front entrance? And the reason why I ask that is because I know that it is a parking lot that you do have to navigate through. It happens to be a parking lot that I have navigated through, and it prevents me from driving too fast. It also makes me more aware of the parking spaces and the cars around me. So I just not sure that making it easier to enter in there is even necessary.
Well, you mean as far as this access way here?
Right.
Well, what happens is, right now, this building's 34,200 square feet, so there's 22,800 square feet leased. The 11,400 square feet of remaining space, we're talking about a child behavioral program, a general practitioner's office, and possibly the other third, some other business which we're still in discussions with. So that being said, this is very congested here. If you did come down there and went to the back, especially at certain hours of the day, morning drop-off times, It's very congested. And by having this access way, this entrance would serve this building. This entrance would serve this building. Okay? I also, and this wasn't on the approved site plan, just by trying to be a good property manager, I added in speed bumps in the site. I added in a stop sign here. I added in a stop sign here so cars coming around here don't conflict with cars going this way. I also added a stop sign right here, and I added speed bumps strategically placed by the access ways to prevent, an accident or something like that. And so far, I think, we've been pretty good. But one thing I am concerned about is the new business coming in on an already congested area and, making some type of issue.
So the new tenants will be entering through the main entrance, not through a side entrance where the parking lot that generally is empty?
Right, they would be from the front here.
Thank you.
Frank? I'm good. Joe?
I know from experience that parking lot very well, and that is going to be a major help to that back area.
It really
I
is.
spent a lot of nights at the karate studio that was there, and teaching the classes with the kids getting out with their parents, changing the cars. They all stacked up against the building. There was a lot of traffic. This will definitely cut back on the traffic flow in front of the child daycare area, and that's what we want also. And there's not really any significant impact to that wetlands. I know that property's well maintained, and you've done a wonderful job with that area. So I'm truly in favor of that project that you proposed.
Thank you. No, and I mean, for the record, I've never seen standing water in these wetlands. I've never seen water. Here's the original detention basin for this building, and also serves part of 155. I've never seen water, and even in this detention basin. There's water comes and goes in the rain gardens, if you will. I've never, ever seen them get up to the point that they use this riprap to discharge in here. It doesn't happen. It's a sandy, coarse type soil, and the water table fluctuates several feet throughout the year. So that being said, it's not a clay or something that's going to maintain, moisture and water and cause. There's no issue. As a matter of fact, about 2-3 years ago, we had those floods. I actually called the time Jose and I said, I wish you can pipe some water to me so I can get it out of your hands, But it's we just never had any issues.
Any other comments, questions, concerns?
I just think it's a good idea to keep it away from the daycare. Safety is a must over there.
That's the thing. That's the
This
thing.
year makes sense.
I agree. I was there this evening, and sharp turns, and you have very good what do you call those?
Speed bumps, yeah.
I almost bottomed my car out.
Oh,
But they do make you slow down, so they're serving its purpose. Okay, so, we're accepting it tonight. If somebody wants to make a motion, we can go forward.
I'd like to make a motion to approve inland wetlands 479.02 with the 16 general conditions and the 2 recommendations by James. Based on no insignificant impact to the wetlands.
Just discussion on the motion. This construction season or next?
We don't know yet, but certainly by the time anybody occupies the 3rd floor.
Okay. And the permit is good for?
5 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me just add that the special conditions, in addition to our 16, and let me just cover number 16, which is often forgotten and overlooked. We are asking for a as-built plan to T2 accuracy, so a topo plan, so that when you create this mitigation area down here, that you'll shoot the elevations there and provide them to us, that we know that it's not too high or too low. It's in the surrounding area. So we are going to enforce that number 16. In addition to that, the 2 special conditions that I've added are that you submit the seed mixture for, you propose some bushes here on the plans. I'd like to see your actual seed mixture you want to use in these grassed areas, in the mitigation areas. And also I've added a condition of that you provide a maintenance narrative. And we're all very aware that you're good at the maintenance. if the property ever changes hands, just want to have something on record of what you've been doing, and just something very brief and kind of a bullet format. You know, every 6 months you do this, you remove evasives, you check the catch basins, or you have them pumped out. You know, whatever you've been doing now, if you could just put that into a narrative, and we'll have that on the plan so that going forward, we have something to
Sure.
look at.
Sure, and again, I'd like to reiterate on record, my maintenance crew maintains around the rain gardens. I myself go in the rain gardens, because they're dry several times throughout the year, and I brush hog them with my tractor. And then on a daily basis, you can say, I inspect for invasives.
Right.
And we get a cattail here or something, we take it out, make sure we just stay with the wetlands grasses so they can stay there and do their job as
Right.
infiltrating any type of debris that may get in there.
And that's the kind of maintenance we're looking for in all of our applications and all our basins. And unfortunately, we don't get that in many of them, and they grow, and you have 2-foot diameter trees in the middle of them, and then it gets to be a little bit more of a problem
Sure.
to maintain it. So I thank you for doing that, and if you give us a nice narrative, hey, maybe we'll even copy it and we'll hand it out.
Okay.
Okay, so motion on the table made by Joe for the 16 standard conditions, the 2 additional special conditions of approval. Continue.
And I'd like to read out loud the 2 special conditions also.
No, just the reasons.
All the reasons, I'm sorry. The area of the wetland being lost will be mitigated on site with a larger, more diversely planted area. And number 2, the stormwater quality will be enhanced by the construction of the mitigation area over the function of the existing wetland area being disturbed.
Okay, motion made by Joe,
Second.
seconded by Roby. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous?
Great. Thank
gentlemen.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is new applications to be received or new business? Neither. Number 18, other business. Official map update discussion.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I wanted to take a moment to, I guess I should have used the wetlands agent report item, but sitting next to me are some new faces, well, actually, one new face and one face that I'm sure you've seen around town. This is Courtney Hendrickson.
Hi.
She is our new Assistant Town Manager for Development Services. And next to her is Ginny Higley, who served as our zoning enforcement officer for how many years? Several years, and now will be taking over the role of wetlands agent with your approval. I think, and the reason being that I am leaving the town of Enfield for the town of Tolland. I'm leaving in 2 weeks, so I want to thank you for all the good times.
Well, welcome, ladies, and we'll miss you, Jim.
Okay.
Best of luck to you.
Welcome, and thank you very much, Jim, for your service.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Good luck, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you. So I don't know if anything you want to say or add.
No, I don't need to add anything substantive, but my door is always open. I'm happy to talk with any of you and look forward to bringing Ginny on board as your liaison. As Development Services head, I'll be over building, code enforcement, planning and zoning, community and economic development. So any of those issues, I'm happy to speak with you at any time.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome, Ginny.
I look forward to working with you, and I appreciate any assistance you can give me. Just as Courtney says, I'm available anytime if you want to meet or if you have any questions. I can research them for you.
Now, you're a certified wetlands agent as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, so we're covered there. I know that was a question some people had. Okay. So back to the map, anything?
No, the map, which has been on this agenda for longer than I've been here. So, but our last discussion about the map was that we were going to propose. This was in July when we last met. That we were going to propose some kind of a workshop in September. Of course, we canceled one meeting in September, and here we are in our second meeting. So, at your discretion, would you like to schedule some kind of workshop in October?
we should.
Or
Okay. Is there a better night of the week for anybody? Roby? No. No? Somebody want to pick a night out? I mean, would you prefer to do it before a meeting, after a meeting? If that's easier?
Yeah.
An hour should give us plenty
Yeah,
of time.
an hour
maybe?
is plenty.
After a meeting?
Yeah, after a meeting, I think would be fine.
Okay, so what's, I don't have my calendar in front of me. What's the next meeting?
And
October 1st?
Joe Marie, the only thing I'll caution is if we don't have a regularly scheduled meeting,
Right, then we'll just bump it.
I think
We'll
what
have
would be
to-
nice if we had David Askew from the district come to this workshop to serve as.
Do you want to contact him and
I
let us
will,
know his
and-
availability?
I'm
We'll
sure he'll
make it-
come, but if we keep canceling a meeting, you know, I don't want to,
Right.
kind of want to set one date and then try to keep to it, so.
Well,
We could set it for the next meeting, and if we don't have the meeting,
We'll still meet
we
with
could
Dave.
still meet with Dave.
Still meet with Dave, okay,
that night,
that's-
because
Right,
we'll
that's
have,
really
we'll
what
have
we
the
need.
chambers open that night, or
Okay.
the Thompsonville room, I'm sure will be open.
Sounds good,
okay.
that's what I'll
So
do, I'll
just
get that
shoot us
lined
an
up.
email and let
So
us
that date will
know.
be what date?
October 1st, we're going to shoot for, I don't know if Dave is available.
Yeah, we'll shoot for October 1st or next meeting.
Okay.
Let's see if he's available. If he's not, then we'll bump it to the next
Yeah.
one.
Okay?
All right. Anything else? Good. Okay, our next regular meeting is Tuesday, October 1st, 2013, 7:30 in the council chambers. Is there a motion?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Typo error.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'd like make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Joe, seconded by Roby. All in favor?
Okay.
We're adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.